What is a nation? The word nation comes from the Latin word natio, meaning birth, origin, or people from the same place. At first, it describes a group of people with shared ancestry or common origin. Today, it usually means a large political community and shared identity, history, language, culture, and territory. But that meaning did not appear overnight. It grew through centuries of migration, conquest, struggle, and state building. Make I ask you one question. Who first imagined the word nation? Nation no be mountain, no be river, no be tree. So before nation come, something dey wey people dey salute, fight for, or die for. It first begin as an idea in human mind, long before passport, flag, anthem, and national borders. People were already living in community. Some like small village, some powerful like kingdom, some wide, big empires. They spoke different language, worshipped different gods, traded with neighbors, fought wars, married across clan. So and built identities around family lineage, tradition, territory, and religion. In ancient times, people no dey think in terms of nation state the way we do today. A person fit identify as member of a city, a kingdom, or an empire, or people group. For example, in Africa, there were great political systems such as the Mali Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Kanem Borno Empire, the Oyo Empire, and the Kingdom of Benin, the Asante Kingdom, and many others. They were organized societies with rulers, law, armies, and trade network, but they were not a nation state in the modern sense we know today. The modern nation is a newer political idea, one wey grew from history, conflict, and need to organize power over land and people. Over time, especially in Europe, the meaning of nation changed. Kings and empire used the rule over many different people. Then came new idea that people with shared language, culture, and history should belong together under one political identity. This idea grew stronger alongside the rise of modern states in Europe. The Peace of Westphalia in 1648, the later age of nationalism in the late 18th and 19th century across different countries. A slave trader such as John Hawkins, Edu Colston, and Pedro Banco, African lives into profits, showing how power over people and territory had long been tied together. People began to imagine themselves not as subject or king, but as member of a nation. But the story did not stop here. For Africa, the modern nation was shaped not only by older kingdom and identity, but also by colonial rule. Many of the borders we see today were not drawn by people who lived there. They were drawn by colonial powers: Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, and others. During the scramble of Africa in the late 19th century at the Berlin Conference in 1884 and 1885, European powers met to set rules for the scramble of Africa and to recognize claim over African territory without any African representation in many places. They drew borders with little regard for existing kingdom, trade routes, language, or community. Sometimes along straight line, sometimes along river and survey lines. Some ethnic group ended in the split across multiple colonies and later states, while others were placed within the same colonial boundary. Old roads, kingdom, and cultural zones were broken apart or merged without regard to history. This is why the map of Africa today not just be geography, it be history, it be power, it be memory. When colonial rule ended, the new African states inherited this border. Many leaders choose to keep them partially to avoid wider conflict and because changing them could have triggered new disputes. So many of the African states we know today were shaped by the mix of colonial history, colonial violence, and post-colonial compromise. That is why some people feel deep loyalty to a country, while others still feel stronger ties to ethnicity, religion, region, and ancestral homeland. So when you hear somebody say my country or your country, you remember say that country don't just appear from sky. It has a story, it has a layer, it has ancestors, conquerors, colonizers, freedom fighters, and ordinary people who lived, suffered, and resisted and rebuilt. So ask yourself, how did this nation come to exist? Who drew these borders? Who benefited from them? What was left out? History makes more sense when you ask better questions. Research, think, and verify. This is episode 4. Stay tuned.